Alright guys, back out here in the garage today. Gonna be messing with Sunshine again today. We've got everything taken care of on Sunshine as far as the changing the gear oil out. We got tranny fluid in it. I've gone through everything, checked the trans brake, did all the functions. Everything seems to be working fine, other than setting it down on the ground and taking it out and driving down the street, all that kind of stuff. So today we're going to be messing with the water system on this thing. I've been wanting to switch over to an electric water pump and picked one up. Picked up a Davies Krug style, the old snail looking turbo one. I've got the options for the hose or for the aim that is to go inside. I went ahead and picked up the adapter plates with the bungs and all that in it. The ideal is I've got a couple of options I can do on this because I'm not quite sure yet how everything on this is going to function as far as hooking that pump up, because I'm kind of limited on where I can actually put things as far as where the pump goes, the belts routing, and all that type of stuff. If you look here, my alternator needs to stay right there. I can't use the one that hangs it out farther because it gets into this pipe. I can't use one over here because it ends up hitting the fuel rail. What I can do, I'm going to take this pump off here first and just kind of see where everything lines up as far as like these bracket screws and all this stuff that's right here. I need to make sure that either I may have to use some spacers or have some made put through if I can use that. The other option I've got, which is probably the simpler of the two, would be to take this pump off and open it up, remove the impeller on it. So basically it's just a vessel that carries water through. I don't know if that's possible on these or not. I have to check and see. Y'all guys may know better. I've never tried this on these before. And then what I would do is I put in line right here on this lower radiator hose between the thermostat housing and the this radiator over here. I just put the Davies pump in there. It just, everything hooks up exactly the same. I don't have to route it. All I'm using is the pulley off of the water pump. That option there is a good option. It seems to be the easiest as far as everything just lining back up and going back like it's supposed to. I also have the option of trying to put a big block pump on there and then use aim fittings and all that. The only problem with that is I still think I'm going to get into a belt issue and an alternator issue. So, more than likely, if it's possible, that I can get that impeller out. I mean, I would save a little bit of weight pulling the water pump off. I mean, maybe 5-6 pounds, if that, which I don't think is an issue because this thing can stand up on the back tires anyway like it is. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. Just the simplest I think would be to do this. I've got to pull these radiators out anyway. This one right here on the passenger side when we were putting on the trailer, it's got two little nipples on the bottom, and I grabbed one on the trailer on the ramp and it pulled it up and put a hole in it. This one over here has always been kind of weak on this cap. I mean, like I said before, they were inflated when I had the small block Chevy in here. You know, kind of running it at its limits, I guess you would say. But that's what I'm gonna try to do today, is get all these radiators out of here, get that water pump off, just kind of see what we're working with. Like I said, I think if I can get that out and get that off, what I'm concerned on right now is, I don't know if y'all can see down in there, on the back of that water pump, that backing plate is already kind of separating. When I had the pump off before, I noticed that and was able to tap it back in. So I don't know if that's just a thing of, that water pump spinning at 8,000 RPMs like it's probably not supposed to. And just pressurizing all that. I know I'm not lifting the heads or anything like that. There's nothing in the oil. There's no pressure coming out of here. All that. All this little water droplets and this dirty water stuff is from just that weak cap being constantly opened and closed and, beating on it and stuff like that. But that's the plan for today. So I'm just going to kind of jump into it and see if I can get this thing off of here, see if I can work it a little bit and kind of go from there. That's the old alternator bracket that I've had on here. I don't quite know how I'm going to make it work, other than I think on these two bottom bolts right here, that's where the small spacers were, that idler arm down there obviously has these longer spacers on there. So, focus in on that, here we go, here we go. These, I think they're a little long if I just put them right here, but I can at least take some off and make those fit. If I can make those fit on these extensions and still be able to get these in and have a good seal, that would be money right there if I could do that. That would allow me to run the alternator just like I had it. Just have to get a smaller belt, find one to match, Obviously it would be a tiny one, but be able to get that on the alternator. That would eliminate the water pump, that would eliminate that idler pulley over there, and clean up the front end a little bit, other than I have to have lines ran everywhere. But if I can't do that, what I'm going to end up having to do is, like I said over here, is try to get, that's a little more than 3 pounds, is to get that open, see if I can get the impeller out of it or do something. Don't even know if that's possible. But right now, I think this is the direction I'm going to try to go, is to use the original alternator bracket and see if I can make these spacers work. I mean, if it doesn't, I'm kind of somewhat screwed anyway. I mean, I'm already committed, I've already bought the stuff, and I'm going electric either way. I would just like to, like I said, if I could utilize this in this plate, I'm going to try to get that on there, see if I can make those spacers work. And if I can do that and just use another, just get another belt for it, that would be ideal. So I'm going to try to put these plates on here, see if I can get this alternator on there, just see if I can get it to line up, and we'll just kind of work from there. Like I said, other way, we'll mess with that water pump and try to get that one to work. But if not, right now, like I said, I want to try to get these to actually fit on here and work, and see if we can engineer something. All right, guys, either I'm a genius or an idiot. Yet to be determined, but I was able to get those trimmed down and get the alternator on. Everything is good there. Just kind of doing the naked eye test here, but I'm able to get the belt. Everything lines up exactly the same. Got this twisted, everything clears. So I'm thinking I'm good on that. The only issue I think that I might have is down here on the AN fittings. I may actually have to put those on first. There may be enough room in there to get to that. I'm not quite certain yet. I don't have a dash 12 fitting to try to put on there. But everything right now seems to work good. And then, like I said, also I've got to find a belt that will actually fit that. I mean, that's a couple of dilemmas I've got right now. I mean, for the most part, it fits. The alternator bracket works. Like I said, if I can find a belt that'll fit that, should be golden. And then other than that, fitting the pieces on the AN fittings, kind of 90s right out of that. It's pretty tight. I mean, this side obviously no problem, but in there, it's just where those spaces are. Like I was saying, I may have to kind of trim those down a little bit, not certain yet. But other than that, I think, like I said, I think it'll work. I think we're going to be good. I just got to get these radiators out of here now. May do that today, may do that tomorrow. But those are on, that's working. That was a kind of a big major piece right there, a little headache in my side. Yeah, if that's even a saying. Thorn in my side, there we go. So I think, like I said, I think that's going to work. I mean, I know it's in the exact same spot it was, so everything's good. It's just whether or not I can get those fittings on. Worst comes worst, I'll cut that little triangle piece off because there's no need for that to be there, and just kind of shape it up a little bit. Just really kind of mocking up right now. I'm not going to set anything in stone yet, and just kind of work from there. But I'm going to get these radiators out of here and worry about that later, because these got to come out no matter what, and I got to get the other ones fit up to go back in here and get the bungs welded in and all that. So let me get these things out of here, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, had a little change of plans. I was going to pull the radiators out, but I went ahead and went up to High Performance World, or Hyperflow Performance, to get all my fittings, to try to go ahead and plumb up this, at least where the pump and everything's going to go, at least the front of this. Go ahead and get all that taken care of out of the way, because I'm still waiting on the radiators to get here, so it's not really important that I pull those out at this moment. So, this is what I'm working with so far. You can see down here, I've already got one of the lines made. I've got the Y block in. I've got the 90s. Going from 12s up to 16. These are I'm just leaving loose right now because those will actually go that direction. Got the other one down here. The pump I'm going to set probably right over here against that. I've got to order a little bracket. I've got the pump here. I've already got the fittings inside that, 16 to 16. So this is my other line. I'm fixing to put this on here. If I get all this put together here, at least get it all cinched down to where I know that's where it's going to be. I can start figuring out everything else out. So let me get this one little piece put on and kind of take a look at it and see what it looks like. Alright, go ahead and kind of get this in here. I've got oil on my fittings, so not to gall them all up. The only bad thing about this is that everything right here with the Y blocks, and these are being such short runs, is everything is so freaking rigid. But I mean, when it's in there and it's made properly, cut properly, it all tends to seem to work out okay. Let's see if I can get this one tighten down, just so I'm not tearing everything up. And these are little bitty short hoses. this bottom one all tight. I think all that's good. Oh, that moved a little bit. Don't want that. Okay, that's tight. That's tight. And that's tight. Okay, everything's down there. We got clearance for the belt. Everything's looking pretty good. Let's see, you can kind of see down in there. There's the Y block to 16, back around. I'll get that alternator bracket on now and just see, make sure everything's going to fit on that. I tested it once, it seemed to clear. So, all of that's looking pretty good. All right, folks, there we go. Everything, I guess, somewhat buttoned up. Got the alternator back on, alternator bracket back on. Everything clears. Belts, everything line up. I've got plenty of clearance down there. This one bottom bracket right here is really close to that. I might take that off, just give it a little bit of clearance, just because it'll ease my mind a little bit. But everything else, this is a little tight here. I mean, I can route that down. I mean, obviously I'm probably going to wrap this to just keep some heat off, but that'll go under here. Come up to right here, I've got the welding bunks and some 45s. Like I said, the pump is going to go right down there. This one will 45 through here, go straight down between there to a 45. I think everything's going to work out good. I mean, obviously you don't know until you get out there and try it, but I mean, from the looks of it right now, I mean, all these fitting nightmare that I've got going on here, you know, like I said, I'm fortunate enough, I've got Hyperflow Performance right down the road from me, and they've got every freaking fitting in the world you could possibly use. I'll leave a link down in the description below for their website and their number and everything. Trust me, if you're looking for it, they've got it. He can get it out to you fast. He makes line. He can do whatever you want to do, but it is a blessing to have that right down the road from me, so I can just run down there. I've been there 3 or 4 times already trying to figure out how to plumb this thing, but it worked out. I mean, it looks kind of Frankenstein looking, but I mean, it's going to work, hopefully. I mean, it's got to. I don't have a choice. So once these radiators come in, I'll take them up there, probably up to Saxy Rod Shop, let those guys weld it for me. And I wouldn't say see if they can do that. I know they can do that. But take it up there, let them get a hold of those. But until then, guys, right now, I mean, I'm loving the way it looks, but that's going to do it for us right now, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We will catch you guys on the next one.